Hello. Some would say I'm the reverse.
Hello everybody, some would say I'm the Reverse, and welcome to my review for The Clone Wars Season 7, Episodes 1 through 4, The Bad Batch Arc. Basically what I'm going to be doing with this video and my next two reviews for the next two arcs of the Season 7, I'm going to be reviewing all four episodes separately, what I thought of each episode, and basically what happened in the episode. And then I'm going to be doing a review of the entire arc as a whole. And then I'm going to be ranking all four episodes from the worst to the best. And I'll be doing this for the Bad Batch arc, for Ahsoka's Walkabout arc, and then the Siege of Mandalore arc. All three arcs of the Clone Wars Season 7. But let's get into it with Season 7's first arc, The Bad Batch. Let's start with Episode 1, titled The Bad Batch. Now, I thought this episode did a really good job at introducing these characters. We had Wrecker, Hunter, Tech, and Crosshair. Um, Very cliche characters. We have Wrecker, who's all brain, no bronze. Hunter, who's the calm leader of the team. Crosshair, who is very cold and but he's very skillful and he has very unique set of skills. He's a very good sniper. And then we have Tech, who is very nerdy, and he's the hacker of the group. Very cliche set of characters, but I think they work well, especially with their dynamics with the regs, as they call normal clones. And I just really like their dynamic in this arc. And we get introduced to that in this episode. We get introduced to Anaxis as a planet, which I thought was really cool. The arc centers around this planet, and I thought this was a really cool designed planet. As as they're sliding down this hill, we get to see the glass shards coming up from the ground. It's just a very glass planet. The droids' tanks are just mowing through these glass trees and stuff. I just really like the surface of the planet. I think it's a really cool planet. We also got to see Fort Anaxis in Rebels, but there's a little bit of a story behind that. Look that up if you want to see that or read about that. But we got to see Cody and Rex. They work with the Bad Batch. We got some cool action scenes with the Bad Batch, especially this one-shot scene where the Bad Batch are just walking through these hallways, decimating droids, and using vibro swords and stuff to kill droids. And it was a really cool scene. Definitely felt like something out of Arrow or Daredevil, and yeah, I thought it was really cool. But and then at the end of the episode, we have Rex thinking that Echo might be alive. We have a live recording. Obviously, this episode revolves around or this arc revolves around an algorithm that the Separatists have. Basically, it's an algorithm that Rex and Echo came up with. It's strategic plans for the Republic. The Separatists have it, and then they Rex realizes that it's not an algorithm; it's a live recording. Um, and the recording says CT1409 over and over again. This is Echo's number. He realizes Echo is still alive. So yeah, that's how the episode ends. I really enjoyed this episode. I thought it was a cool way to get back into the Clone Wars. Obviously, I just watched the first 6 seasons, so it didn't really take long for me to um, from ending the series to getting back into it on Disney Plus. But it was cool knowing that we're gonna be getting more weekly Clone Wars episodes. It was cool diving right back into the show on Disney Plus with the new animation style. We got new sound effects for the blasters and stuff. We got new character designs for the droids, and it just looks way cleaner and stuff. And yeah, uh, really good introduction to this arc, to these characters, and yeah, I enjoyed this episode. Next, we have a distant echo. Not as much action in this episode. They go to Skako Minor to track the signal, and Anakin goes with them and stuff. But the main thing about this episode is them finding Echo. Now, we have these cool new sort of droid things, new droid types. They look like insects um, for the Techno Union, and I thought it was really cool. We haven't really gotten to see the Techno Union too much in like Star Wars media, like live action Star Wars, in the movies or in the TV series. But this episode we get to see the Jedi, or Anakin and Rex and the Bad Batch fight the Techno Union, and it's really cool seeing these new droid types, and they're fighting them. They find Echo. But something I really liked about this episode at the beginning of the episode, when the Bad Batch, when they're all just setting out to go to Skako Minor, Rex and Anakin, they stay back for a few minutes because Anakin says to Rex, "I have to do this thing." He takes Rex's helmet. He goes into the barracks, and Rex guards the door. And Anakin talks to Padme. Now, I think this is a really cool scene because not only do we learn that Rex knows about Anakin, he vouches for Anakin. He makes sure no one finds out that Anakin is married to Padme. But also, this scene replaces that nose art scene from the unfinished episodes, which I thought I saw people getting mad about that. I don't care about that. I think the scene is definitely better, and the two scenes don't work well together. They just don't. I don't know. They just don't bounce off each other well. But yeah, I thought this was a really awesome scene, especially when Obi-Wan walks up and he's asking where Anakin is, and then Rex, vouches for Anakin. Then Anakin comes out and they're making excuses, and then Obi-Wan says, "I hope you said hi to Padme for me." Awesome scene, reveals that Obi-Wan actually knows about Padme, or at least he has his suspicions. But yeah, probably the highlight of the episode for me, since once the first episode came out, I already suspected that Echo was going to be live. So this was definitely the highlight of the episode for me. I just really liked the addition of this scene into the episode. But yeah, I enjoyed this episode more than I did the first episode. I thought it was a really cool episode. Let's go into episode 3. This episode is titled "On the Wings of Kiridax." They are on Skako Minor, and they are trying to escape with Echo. Very short. I'm just going to summarize what happens in this episode, since I think it is the weakest of the 4 episodes, but I'll get into why. So basically, they're escaping with Echo. They fight through these droids. Um, they fight from Echo's little stasis chamber room, and we get to see Wat Tambor and the other Techno Union heads, I guess. It was kind of cool to see Wat Tambor again in this show in animation. I think the last time we saw him was in season 1, in the Ryloth arc. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but it's been a while since we saw him in animation. But yeah, it was cool to see him in animation. I love his voice, so I mean, it's cool to see him talk in this episode, I guess. But yeah, they escape Skako Minor with Echo. We had a cool fight scene in the village with the Poltex. Uh, Actually, we had a cool scene where Anakin gets basically kidnapped by the Poltex and their Kiridax, the flying bat creatures, which kind of reminded me of the sun when he is in his bat form. Kind of reminded me of that, but it obviously isn't. But even cooler than Wat Tambor's voice, I really love the Poltex voice. I don't know why. It's so cool. It's like layered, and it sounds awesome. And but basically the Kiridax, they take Anakin, bring him to the Poltec village, and uh, and then the Separatists and the Poltecs fight, and it's a cool scene, a cool action scene, and then they leave the planet. So then the episode ends with Echo looking back on the planet, which he's probably been here for a long time. So yeah. But let's go into episode 4, which I think is the best episode of the arc. And I'll get to my entire ranking of the episodes. But yeah, definitely my favorite episode of the arc. We had Mace Windu action. We had Mace Windu and Obi-Wan action. We had some cool clone droid fights, and then we had some aerial combat. Basically, they are trying to infiltrate a ship to. They're just finishing off the Battle of Anaxis. They're trying to finish off Trench and stuff. So Echo, um, since he's still connected to the Techno Union algorithm and stuff, he's feeding the droids different commands. He leads them all to Mace Windu and Obi-Wan, where they can take them out one at a time. We got some Trench scenes, and then Anakin goes. Uh, well, first of all, Trench puts a bomb in this place crucial to the Battle of Anaxis. He puts a bomb, he's threatening to explode it. Mace Windu goes down there to shut it down. It's a 5-digit code. He gets the first 4 digits. And then Echo is taken out, so he can't reveal the fifth number to Mace Windu. Anakin goes to get the fifth digit from Trench. He gets it. He kills Trench, and we get a cool Darth Vader moment when Anakin says, when Trench says to Anakin, "You won't kill me. You're a Jedi." And Anakin says he's not like other Jedi. He doesn't have that weakness. I believe this is the first moment we get to see Anakin refer to the Jedi's hesitance to kill, their code, as their weakness. We get a cool Darth Vader moment, and then he kills Trench after cutting off his arms and stuff. But yeah, definitely a highlight of the episode. And then they blow up the entire fleet, and they win the Battle of Anaxis, and the arc ends with Echo going with the Bad Batch. Bittersweet moment. It's sweet because Echo gets to go with people like him who are different from other clones, but it's bitter because he has to leave Rex and they go their separate ways. And this is most likely the last time that Echo gets to see Rex before Order 66 and all the stuff that goes down with the Republic turning into the Empire, just all the events from Revenge of the Sith. But yeah, very bittersweet ending to the arc, but I enjoyed the ending to the arc. I enjoyed this episode a lot. But let's get into my review of the entire arc. I thought this was a really good arc to bring us back into the Clone Wars. I thought it was not only a unique arc because it follows a certain set of new characters, those being the Bad Batch, and their dynamics with regular clones, the Regs, but also I really liked how it's sort of a classic Clone Wars sort of thing. It's not like it's not the Mortis arc where it's just a few uh, a few characters going on a quest on a foreign planet. It's actually a battle, so it is classic Clone Wars. It is a classic Clone Wars battle between the Separatists, the Republic. There's aerial fights, there's ground fights, there's huge clone versus droid fights, there's Jedi, there's clones, there's droids. There's everything you need in a classic Clone Wars battle. We got the return of Echo, a long lost character from the series, but we also got new characters. So I thought it was a perfect arc to bring us back into season 7, into the return of the Clone Wars. So yeah, I'd probably give this arc maybe a 7.5 out of 10. I thought it was really good for what it was trying to accomplish, and yeah, I just really enjoyed this episode or this arc of 4 episodes, and I hope we get to see the Bad Batch by the end of the season, maybe in the last arc. The Bad Batch and Echo can help with the Siege of Mandalore. That would be awesome. But yeah, really awesome arc to start off the season, and yeah, I'll definitely think back on this episode fondly. Um, Obviously, it was released as unfinished a few years back, but there are some changes that are made for the better in this arc. Definitely enhances the arc. But yeah, 7.5, maybe even higher than that, up to like 7.9 out of 10. I don't really know where to rank this arc, but I think it was really good. Now let's rank these episodes. So in last place we have episode 3 titled "On the Wings of Kira, what is it? Kirdax, I believe. Just very, I don't know. There not much crazy things happen in this episode. We got some cool fight scenes, but the other episodes have some good character moments, and but this episode just doesn't have any of that. It's just it really just a battle, but it is cool to see Echo in action again. So yeah. But then in third place we have episode 1 titled "The Bad Batch." Nothing wrong with this episode at all. Very good action moments. But just like just like episode 3, there aren't as many character moments and like aha moments. Obviously, we have Echo, the tease that he is alive, but most people already knew that he would be alive. But yeah, good introduction to the arc. Just not much that went on, but very cool fight scenes and introduction to the new animation style and stuff like that. Yeah. In second place, we had A Distant Echo. Not only do we get to see Echo once again, but we also get to see Anakin and his relationship with Padme, just like it's portrayed. It's kind of a mix of how it's portrayed in the show and in the movies. Obviously, Padme is pregnant. We get to see this. Anakin doesn't realize it. So we're only a few months away from Revenge of the Sith, and we knew this from the trailers, but yeah, we learned that Rex and Obi-Wan know of Anakin's marriage with Padme, which is awesome. I really do love that we get to see Obi-Wan's that he knows that Padme and Anakin are married. This just shows that Anakin or Obi-Wan really does care about Anakin. He doesn't care about the Jedi code and Anakin disobeying the marriage laws of the Jedi Order. He really does care about Anakin, which we also get to see in Revenge of the Sith, but then in first place we have episode 4 titled "Unfinished Business." Just excuse me, really awesome um, fight scenes, action scenes, aerial space combat scenes. Awesome end of the arc. We get to see the dark Anakin scene and Echo's inevitable fate when he goes with the Bad Batch. Um, but yeah, I'm really happy with how this arc turned out. Tell me in the comments what you thought of the arc. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Rank the episodes from the worst to the best. And tell me why you ranked them like that in the comments. Put your overall thoughts of the arc in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. See ya.